Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Games on the Road. Our chrysalis creative endeavors to share some games and have some fun. Today's game we're going to be talking about Lovelace and Babbage. But first, a little bit about where we are and what we're doing. This is Yellowstone National Park, and this entire intro is about how to make this picture right here. You see, it starts with a couple of dogs doing whatever they want. One's not even in frame. And there I am trying to pull with the leash behind me. Tracy is nicely smiling, ready for the picture. And I get one dog turned around as the camera shoots again. Tracy's still ready for the picture to happen. And then I futilely point for the dogs to look in the same direction. That doesn't work too well. And then I look down to find out, what is this dog eating? What is that? So as I wrestle the garbage away from the dog, Tracy's still smiling. And now I get the contraband, and all of a sudden both dogs are in frame, being very attentive to what we're doing. And I throw it at the camera. Both dogs turn around to look at what's at the camera, and happily we end up back with this photo. And here we are at Yellowstone National Park with a successful family picture. So this is Lovelace and Babbage in a nutshell. So Lovelace and Babbage is basically what you would call a roll and write or a draw and write. This is a draw and write because you have all these tokens that you would kind of shuffle together and then pull 12 of them out and then put the rest back in the box. And it takes place over 4 rounds, where each round you're writing a program. By the way, this is based on thematically the early days of computer programming. And we have this difference engine basically in front of us. And this A and B is your first round. And then there'll be some random numbers put in for the second round, third round, and fourth round. So each round you're writing down what you want to how you want to have these numbers come out so that you can gain sponsors or use your own cards. And here's Ada's cards. So let's say I was trying to get to 91. I would be trying to write a program that gets me to 91. And when I get to either one of the things I've selected that I'm going to get to or any of the sponsors, I circle it and take the resources from that sponsor. As soon as I'm done writing my program, we don't actually run the program yet. You write it, and then let's say I was the first one done, I would grab this timer, I would flip it up, which gives everybody 60 seconds to finish their program. Whoever's second would take the second player, third takes third player, fourth takes fourth player. If the time runs out, it's whoever grabs the token first is in. As soon as the first player says time, whoever grabs the token first is the person who would go in that turn order. And then you basically, in turn order, run your program and come up with numbers. So if you get to 53, you could take one of these 2 resources and denote it on your card. At the end of the game, you get points for resources, you get points for the number of your own character cards that you played. If there is a error or a bug on your program, twice you can recalculate. You can't reprogram, but you can recalculate and lose 3 points at the end of the game. And so basically that is Lovelace and Babbage in a nutshell. Okay, let's talk about ratings for Lovelace and Babbage. First of all, cargo space. I gave cargo space 2 thumbs up because it is a very small box, about a little bit bigger than a deck of Uno cards, which is kind of a double-sized deck. A little thicker, but still 2 thumbs up. As far as table space, I gave it a thumbs up. I think that it gets spread out, although most of it is your writing stuff and your cards. So I guess it's between a thumbs up and a 2 thumbs up, because it doesn't take near as much space as some of the card games that I've got, but it still takes up a decent amount of space. Okay, time to learn. I'm going to give this one a thumbs down, unfortunately. It takes a little while to learn this game. My suggestion is watch a tutorial before you leave the house when you have internet so that you understand how to play the game, so at least one person can kind of quickly teach it. The rule book is pretty good, but it does take a little while to understand what is going on and what you're supposed to write on your sheet. Setup, I'm going to say 2 thumbs up because it's really quick to get set up. You got a little tiny board, 12 tokens, a sand timer, and some cards to basically just shuffle and put out there. And you give each person their programmer, and you're ready to go. Oh, and give them one of these little sheets and a pen. I'm going to say this is a picnic table maybe. Especially, and it might be a thumbs up if you have the Kickstarter version, which has the thicker tokens. If you have just the cardboard tokens and the cards, I would say it's a maybe because you'd have to set something on things in case the wind blew. For replayability, I'm giving it a thumbs up. Shuffling these things, it may not look like there's a lot of variation, but when you start talking about math, that's a lot of, the difference between plus or minus 34 in your planning and plus or minus 17 in your planning is, yeah, I think this is really replayable. As a two-player game, I think it's a thumbs up. Matter of fact, in a two-player game, there's not as much competition for the sponsors, and it makes it feel like you're doing a lot more. In the 3 or 4 player game, once these are taken, you get a point for getting that sponsor on your program, but you may not be earning things for big bonuses at the end of the game. Overall, I gave Lovelace and Babbage a thumbs up. Now, Tracy gave it a 2 thumbs up because she plans to use this in the classroom for some game-based learning activities because it's a great using 2-digit addition and subtraction and doing a lot of this stuff that's really fun and competing on time. I think that she gave it 2 thumbs up for those game-based learning factors. And that is Lovelace and Babbage for A Game on the Road.